This is the Sony RX0 Mark II with a bareback adapter. That can't be right. Backbone adapter. That makes more sense. Let's stay monetized. Let's stay monetized. Another day, and it is still warm. Oh my gosh, the battery's not. Hold on, y'all. Let's get this going. This battery is poop. Hello, it's me. I'm Steven Allen. How are you doing today? Welcome back to my channel situation. I'm just gonna have this kind of like this. Will this work? Oh yes, that's nice. Pardon the noise, but it's warm. I wanted to talk to you today about this camera right here. As a little flip up screen. This is in comparison to the Sony RX0 Mark I that doesn't have the flip up screen, or as people say, the little flippy screen. This one has interchangeable lenses, you know. See the sensor. I've used this for a little bit. I really wanted this camera so badly. I haven't seen anyone post any videos on this camera at all on YouTube, except for I think the people that made it. They kind of just did some BTS, some kind of like scenery shots. Of course, there have been a lot about this and the Mark II, but not this modified one. So I think this is the smallest interchangeable lens camera with like a 1-inch sensor. I think I've had this for about 6 months now, but I really wanted to get it, and I wanted to wait until I was kind of waiting to see if there would be a Sony RX0 Mark III, but I think if there were one, it wouldn't have this design. It wouldn't have a memory card that you can remove, and it probably wouldn't have mic jack or an HDMI, and it wouldn't have a battery that you can remove. It would be similar to, I think, like the Osmo Action 2. These batteries are still trash. They don't last that long. On this, it's ridiculous. On this, it's a bit better. I do like this little charger though. Sony branded, so you can stick it in here. This is back in the day when everything was this micro USB. So you charge it like this, not USB-C. I haven't had any overheating issues with this camera at all. This one I had an overheating issue once when I was traveling, and I just put in the high warning mode and I didn't have any more issues after that. So about this camera, this is not a modified camera. I just replaced this little front thing so that it just doesn't have its little glass there. This is a UV filter, a 37mm. I wanted to be able to put a cap on it because the action cameras, they like to just have an exposed front. And I feel like it could get scratched or smudged or whatever. But this means this is not waterproof anymore, but I'm not really submerging it underwater. I think it's fine for like light rain or anything like that. Same thing for this. I think this is a bit more of an issue with rain because they're like little foam pieces to keep the mount in place. I think it's a better fit with the C Mount adapter, but I thought I would keep the Micro Four Thirds because that I can adapt to a lot more things than a C Mount, but it's still crush proof. So I could drop it on the ground and it would still work. I do have another video about this camera, the Sony RX0 Mark I, so if you want to see that, you can watch it. This is not like a thorough, in-depth video. I just kind of wanted to talk about this, shoot a few clips with it, talk about some of the issues I've had with this particular camera, because I've just seen no videos at all about this, and when I wanted to get it, I was like, am I going to buy a potato? A really expensive potato? So I wanted to talk a little bit about my C Mount lenses. This is the lens that I keep on here. It's a lens that you can get on Amazon. It's a 25mm f1.8. I don't really know what the 35mm equivalent is for this because it's a little strange. I've seen a lot of different things online saying what it is, but I think you double it. So this is more like a 50mm lens. This is the lens that I like to keep on this camera as it covers the full sensor. This one is a wider view. It's a 6mm lens, but it doesn't cover the whole sensor, so you have to zoom in with the camera. This one is a 50mm lens f1.4. This one's 35mm f 1.7, and then this is another one I travel with. This one is a 12.5 millimeter f 1.3. So I take these with me, and then this one is ridiculous. It's a 75 millimeter lens f 1.4. This is pretty heavy as well. I didn't know the lens would be this big when I got it on eBay. I can do another video on this, actually putting the lens on the camera, going out and shooting with it. I just want to kind of do a quick overview today, and I wanted to know if you would be interested in seeing more about these cameras. Maybe I can compare these two or compare this to a phone. The reason I really like this camera is because it matches the A7S II really well. This one matches, I guess, like an A7 III because it's a bit better in quality without the modification, just, you know, the way it comes in the box. With the modification, you can put whatever lens you want on it. So that makes it cool. I wish that there were more buttons on this camera, like 2 buttons, one for always video, one for always photos, because you have to switch the mode from video to photo. This camera, you can use remote with it, a Bluetooth remote. I've had a lot of trouble having this connect. So this is the JJC remote that you can pair with this. This will not work with this. I don't think this has Bluetooth. I have this one in airplane mode all the time. You have better battery life with airplane mode, but with airplane mode, you can't use Bluetooth. I feel like that could be updated in a firmware thing. So maybe there was a firmware update with it. I don't know. One annoying thing about this is that the memory card, and it's the same for both, when you stick it in, it'll have something on the screen that says, I can't read the memory card, so you have to like pop the memory card in and out a few times, and it resets itself and it's fine. So that's the thing. The preamp on this is pretty good, so the audio coming straight out of the camera is pretty decent. With this one, the mic is covered up, so you have to plug a microphone into the camera like so. This is what I do. I use this little Sarmonic mic with this little angle adapter. This is like your vlogging setup. I do add this little Manfrotto quick release base onto it because I have that on all of my cameras just so I can easily clip it onto a tripod. But this is pretty decent for like a little vlogging camera, and it's like a little mini A7 III, A7S II in your pocket. You have full control over the lens, and you can also use clear image zoom to zoom in, so this turns into a zoom lens as well. So I really do like the thought of that. Turning the camera on, see it doesn't take that long to boot up. These are the settings similar to an A7S II, which is the camera that I have. Can you focus? Focus on me. Well, whatever. So you can see the shutter speed. This is 1/125. Maybe, oh, I have this in photo mode. This is my sticker table. This is the Sony RX0 Mark II. This is my phone. Sticker. Boom. We'll stop that clip. I think the speaker is also covered up on this because the chime that it makes when you start and stop a clip is muted on this camera. So since the battery is kind of poo-poo on this, typically I will have this plugged into a little external battery brick. So this is by Anker. This is huge. This will actually power a laptop with a power delivery USB-C. And because the little screen is so small and you have to manually focus with this modification, I use a little 4K monitor that has a touch screen so you can pinch to zoom. And what's nice about this is that you can actually power the monitor with this too. This is the one with the flip screen. So you can see it's just not focused. That's why it looks like that. So now we have Inception. Let me see if I can focus on that IK8N. Cool. So that's crazy. So you can see that little flashing thing. I don't think I can get in focus, but it shows that because something was disconnected when they put this mount on, but that doesn't show up in the actual footage. Now this is my sticker table. You can see that there is some wobble, some jello because of how this sensor is. I really like it. I like how it looks. This is what the audio sounds like without the mic connected, but it's just blocked by the case, so it just doesn't sound good. That is about it. I really like this Sony RX0 camera. I guess with any camera you do have issues. It is a little crazy with the amount of stuff. I think the best camera to use is just a cell phone, what's in your pocket all the time anyway. It is kind of nice having a little dedicated camera that has some manual controls. Instead of carrying like an A7S II, A7 III, A7S III, you You can have this so you can still use manual lenses and not have to deal with having a huge camera in your bag. And the lenses are really small. You can carry like, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All 6 of these lenses in your bag, and it takes the place of like one full frame lens. Thank you so much for being here and for being you. Please do subscribe to this YouTube channel because I'm posting videos. I'm planning on posting 2 times a week, Mondays and Thursdays. So anyway, see you in the next video. Goodbye. This looks so trash.